and then just pat yourself on the back. Just know that you should be proud of yourself. Others are proud of yourself. God's proud of you for going along this journey. So
There is something special inside you.
Welcome to GNG Podcast with your host, speaker, best-selling author, Chaz Jackson.
Yo, what's going on, kings and queens? It's your boy Chaz Jackson coming back to you once again, representing GNG, Gift and the Gift. You know what our motto is on this show. You are gifted differently to make a difference. You know why? Because greatness made you, therefore greatness is within you. And we have someone with some amazing greatness inside of them ready to share or shine their light on each and every one of you. My guy Christian is in the building, collegiate athlete at Hendrix College, doing some amazing things in the sporting realm, but also in the community as well. And he's here again to shine his light. Are you ready to get it, my friend?
yeah, I'm ready. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just a little bit of background on Christian. Great guy. Had the opportunity to connect with him in the realm of physical therapy, and he's inspired to go into therapy amongst, at this present time, being a collegiate football athlete. Back in high school, was notoriety with being all-district honors, scholar athlete award, academic all-state honors. So just an amazing individual and ready to just add value, care value, and serve each and every one of you who's listening to us right now. And Christian, I just want you to kind of go back as far as you were like, just to kind of, stir up and give us more clarity on how you got to be a collegiate football athlete and build the mindset that you have now to strive for greatness. So can you just share your story with the audience?
Yes. So obviously, I played high school football, and I was getting to the point where I had to make a decision about whether just to go to school or be a student athlete. And I decided to play football because I figured I might as well try, because I know if I just became a student and gave football up, then I'd definitely regret it, rather than if I went and played football and then didn't like it, maybe I could change. And I wouldn't have that regret of not at least trying. Yeah, I ended up playing football, and then actually my junior year of high school, I tore my ACL. So I went through the whole physical therapy process, and I enjoyed, I could see myself doing that for other people. So that's how I wanted to do that, for my career. And so I decided, I had some D3 offers. I had one private small D2. And I knew Hendrix College was a good academic school. They call it Harvard of the South sometimes. So I figured it'd be nice to go there to get a good education to better me for grad school, hopefully in the future. And then I get to play football, the sport that I've loved playing, grew up playing all my life, while I'm doing that, to make it pretty fun.
And you say you tore your ACL your junior year in high school?
Yes, sir. My junior year.
Okay. Yeah, so, and that's something that we somewhat have in common, not necessarily the injury to the knee, but I remember my senior year, fractured my fibula tibia, my senior year in the high school, third game of the season, and going through physical therapy. So that kind of put me in the path of, going after rehabilitation and building a career in physical therapy. So yeah, it's amazing how being in that broken state from that injury, not really knowing how your career is going to end up, but meeting that provider and working your way through rehabilitation and coming on the other end to get back to doing some of the things you love. Yeah, it's kind of like that seed, got planted on my head, and it was like, man, I want to do that for someone else. So that really resonated with me when you shared your injury and how physical therapy impacts your life. And yeah, so that's really good stuff. Thank you for sharing that, Christian. And what will be your definition for success? Like, if you had to put it in definition perspective, what would you say?
I feel like for like individually as a person, success would be constantly striving to get better and being the best version of yourself that you could possibly be. And once you get to that best version of yourself, like not to settle and then keep striving to get better in anything that you do. Because if you do that, then I feel like inevitably you'll be successful because there's no way that you could put all that work and something just not like something not like not good to come up out of it. Like I feel like some good has to come out of always just working hard, doing everything right, trying to be the best version of yourself. And then once you get to that best part, just keep striving to get better, and then you'll inevitably find success.
Hmm. Yeah, it's that consistency of keep doing the right things. They will eventually compound and help you get to where you want to be. I really like that answer. I really like that definition. And this show is built on providing tips and techniques for young men as they strive to grow in personal development and leadership. So, Christian, you being a collegiate athlete, doing some of the things that you're doing now to better yourself, be the best version of an athlete that you can be, to set yourself up for success, moving on into your adulthood. There's a young man listening to you right now that they show some athletic ability and they're looking to go to the next level. Is there some tips or techniques that come to mind that work for you to get to where you are right now to go to that next level from high school to college and have the opportunity to play? What comes to mind for you?
I would say the big thing is try to learn at least one new thing a day, or go out of your way to learn some things, like whether if it's in your sport or academically. Let's say it's for your sport, like obviously you'll have your coach there, but you should always try to work at what you learn from him and try to apply it to your game. And then also just try to learn stuff on your own. Like you can watch highlights of professional players, other collegiate players, maybe watch old film of yourself, see how you improve from that or see what you could do to get better. But I would say always just like find new ways or new techniques to learn or improve your work. And once you do, going back to always striving to get better, don't just settle and be like, okay, I think I got everything down. Because there's always, even for professionals, whether it's a professional at their job or professional in a sport, they can always find something to improve on. There's never perfection. There's always something that you can do to get a little better. So I would just say trying to learn something new, at least one thing a day, and just always look for new things to work on.
I really like that. It makes me think of a little short quote. Getting 1% better each day will compound and make you a greater version of yourself. So, yeah, that's really good stuff. I like that. Whoever's listening right now, hopefully you got your pen and paper taken down, wrote that down, that tip that was just giving one thing new a day. And I want to encourage you to take the daily challenge. Once you do learn that one thing, is sharing it with somebody else. And whether it's on social media, or it can be as simple as, a friend, someone close to you in your home, sharing what you learned, because you're going to be able to retain that a little bit better instead of just kind of sitting on that stuff on your own. So be willing to give that value. Just says Christian is giving some amazing value today. And whoever's listening right now, Christian Gadison, my guy, King Christians in the building. I want to encourage you, share this message out to willing listeners. If you know a high school student that's looking to go to the next level, playing collegiate football, basketball, whatever sport that they desire, this episode is going to really be able to provide some influence and impact for them to help them get to that next level, because my guy Christian is doing it right now. And it brings me to this question, Christian, do you find it difficult to be a student athlete? A lot of people, even back whenever I was in college, trying to find that balance of you want to put all of your chips on just being that athlete, but the student part comes first. A lot of times, we can lose sight of the academic standpoint. So did you find that difficult to kind of balance those things, or did that come natural to you?
I feel like, so it's kind of, I was in a unique situation because I came in during the COVID semester. So we had a shortened season. So we came in person for our spring. So fall semester, everything was canceled and we were online. So I was at home. So spring, it was like half a season. So like like the first 5-6 weeks were like football, and then we did off season, and it was just kind of weird. Like some of my classes were online, stuff like that. So my sophomore year, having a full season with school, at first it was kind of it was tough a little bit because I was also trying to work in the post office for the school, try to get some money. But I feel like I adapted pretty well without too much struggle. But I feel like that comes with, if anyone's ever having a hard time with that, I feel like if you want to be here and you want to do this, then you will be able to do that. Like you'll make time, like you'll find balance. Like if you get like down with school a little bit, maybe start doing more schoolwork, maybe watch a little bit less film and then study more. But if you want to be here, or if you want to be wherever you are to be a student athlete, then you will. I know some guys like fall behind in school, or they don't try too hard in school because they're missing classes, stuff like that, don't turn into work. That's what I mean by, if you want to be here, show that you want to be here, go to class on time, turn in work on time. And then that shows teachers that like you want to be here. And then if you're able to like meet with teachers, stuff like that, always do that. Like bother them with questions, like, because that's what you're here for, like to get an education, and that's what they're for, to help you out. So always do that. And same with coaches, like bother them with questions. If you have questions on the plays, stuff like that, how to do certain things. But so I feel like I did those things. I wanted to make sure that I got everything down. I knew the system, like in football or on the school side of things. So I had a good transition. I feel like it was tough at first, even with the homesickness, because I was 5 hours away, meeting new people, stuff like that. But if you're a student athlete and you're part of a team, I feel like it comes naturally to meet new friends, and also ask people that you know, like friends on the team or friends you meet outside of the team. Just use them as support too, because that's a big thing, not doing things alone. So I feel like I had a good support system, and then I worked hard to get a good balance between the two things.
Man, that is so true. Not doing things alone. And I remember my freshman year, it was really important for me to kind of comprehend and understand, like to get around those that are already ahead of me. So, that junior or that senior that's kind of been around for a little bit, to really get plugged in with them. Because at the beginning stages, I remember going through camp, and that wasn't really the case. And I struggled. I struggled my first semester in my freshman year, to the point where I was like one letter grade away from failing out, to be honest. But I really had to reel myself in, like you said, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but I take it that you were trying to say, like, care about what you were doing, and really taking it seriously. That's something I had to do going into my second semester of my freshman year. And it really helped. I remember playing linebacker in college, West Carolina University, and one of the seniors, his name was Lamar Barnes, and Lamar, he really seen, what I was doing, how I was doing it, and he offered that guidance to really just help build a plan for me. And a lot of times people can offer you things, and this is one of the challenges I have for you, whoever's listening. Offer you the opportunity to help, but you have to be willing to take the actions and put in the work to receive what they're trying to share with you. And that's one of the things that I had to do, is to be open to, asking those questions, but also being open to receiving back some of that feedback, whether it was positive or negative, about some of the actions and things I was doing, but also being willing to, get with Lamar, get with those coaches, and really build that game plan. So, yeah, man, that was really good stuff, Christian, about how you're balancing things. And whenever I think about, so you were number 13, right? So is there any meaning behind your number, or was it just kind of like, man, that's what was available? Like, because I know you play receiver, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So growing up, I was always like in all sports, well, at least like soccer and football, I would always do 7. I was always like 7. But so I got to varsity my sophomore year. And so it's like kind of like the older dudes get their numbers first. And like there was always the single digit numbers. But my coach was like, I think we're going to give you 13. And I'm trying to think. I think my sophomore year is probably like, I think 2017, 2018. Yeah. And so I thought about like OBJ and stuff. So there was not like too much of a But I was
Was that
like,
when he made like the big catch, the one-handed catch?
yeah. So it was like around the time. I think it was a little after, but
You still
I was
with
thinking
the
like
Giants?
13. Yeah, 13 is a cool number, but I'll also just make it my number.
Now, this question here. So, thinking of you back freshman year in high school, you're talking to that person right now.
Mhm.
What would you share with yourself if you were struggling freshman year in high school to get back on track, to get to college and play football? What would you say to yourself to get back on track? And whoever's listening, he's not prepped for any of this stuff, so I'm kind of just hitting him with questions.
Um,
So give him
freshman
a
year,
minute.
high school or college?
So you're starting in high school. So you're talking to your high school self freshman year, but you have a dream of getting to college where you are right now. What would you say as far as motivation to help yourself get there?
I would say, especially like right now, I have to remind myself right now, like looking back, like I feel like I've played so much football, and done so much school, and like I'm going into my senior year after this semester. I'd say uh take things one day at a time. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. Like don't look ahead and be like, dang, like I still got. Because sometimes I'm like, yeah, like I got to finish next year, get through another season, or not get through another season, but like play my last season, get through 2 more semesters, make sure I keep the grades up, and then I got to go to grad school. That's 3 years of that just to get to PT. Like sometimes catch myself doing that, but and then I think back, I'm like, well, I can't imagine being a freshman thinking about that. Like I still had, so we actually, our freshmen, like for some reason, our district in Texas is one of the only ones to do like seventh, eighth, ninth grade for junior high, and then sophomore, junior, and seniors for high school. So like I can't imagine going into my like sophomore year thinking like I got 3 years of high school football with all the school, and I got to make sure I do all this and keep the grades up. Then I got to do 4 years of undergrad. So it's like I would say to keep things one day at a time. Wake up ready to go and be successful for that day and attack the day. And then kind of go through your checklist, what I have to do today to get better, what I have to make sure to do for this day. And don't think ahead, like, don't think weeks ahead, like, oh, I'm going to have to do all this stuff on the syllabus that the syllabus says. We got to do all these practices. Just like take things one day at a time to make sure you can do everything to your best ability that day. But I think that's the biggest thing is take things one day at a time. Don't get too far ahead of yourself or else you'll get overwhelmed pretty quickly.
Boom. Hey, man. You're just getting hotter than fish grease in here, man. But that was awesome. Dropping gems. King Christian dropping gems. I like it. Taking it one day at a time. That's kind of on my mantra of this year that I started saying to myself a little bit more to kind of take me to 2023 is falling in love with the process. And when I hear taking things one day at a time, that's part of it. Just really enjoying where you are, how you are, realizing the things around you and how blessed you truly are at this moment. I feel like it's essential. And whoever's listening right now, I want you to take that daily challenge with me of taking it one day at a time, realizing how grateful you are, just to get up in the morning, just to be able to wake up and have the ability to have the energy, to have the drive to strive and go after the things that you love, and to be grateful just to be able to get back into your bed that later on that day and say, man, job well done. We conquered this day. And I'm talking to myself as well. So take that daily challenge with me, whoever's listening, of taking it one day at a time and realizing there's so many things to be grateful for right now in your life, because one of those major things is we still got breath in our body. We have a mouth and ears to be able to listen to this amazing conversation with King Christian. And man, that you're dropping gems, Christian, man. That's really good, man. You got me fired up over here. All right, man. So people listening to you right now, they're like, man, I want to support Christian going into a senior year. We want to be praying for you as well. So can you just share contact information? How can we be following you, following your journey, finishing up school, praying for you through this upcoming season, and also share with us some things that you have coming up in 2023 that we can be praying about. The floor is yours again, man.
So I guess I can do like contact information. I guess the app I use the most, like social media, is Instagram.
Okay.
CLG 915. So like my initials and 915, CLG. My upcoming plans. So doing off season right now. We're actually in the middle of spring ball. And then we're almost done with that. For the summer, so I got a pretty loaded summer. Planning on working as a PT tech at Barkman Smith. I also plan on shadowing somewhere else, trying to get an inpatient, hopefully like a hospital, because that looks good for grad school. And I'm also going to be doing some online summer classes. And then I also got to keep on top of workouts for football, the upcoming football season. And the PT cast, I'll be able to start applying for grad schools too, which is, I think, one of the biggest things I'm most excited for to start applying. And yeah, and I'm going to my aunt's wedding in Mexico.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So that'll be pretty fun. So it'll be a pretty busy 2023. And I also play my last season of football ever. So it's going to be weird.
Yeah, man. This is going to be the best season yet, man.
That'll be later.
How y'all looking this year? Did y'all lose a lot of seniors last year?
No, we had a pretty young team. We had some freshmen starting in some places. So we have a lot of returners.
Cool.
We didn't have that many seniors leaving, so.
Well, awesome, man. Awesome. Thank you so much for shining your light on GNG podcast. Man, you are truly gifted differently to make a difference, and a difference maker who's echoing their greatness at Hendrix College and across Arkansas to Texas and beyond. There's so many other things that you're going to be doing to influence and empower people. I'm excited to have you on here, man, and just being able to chop it up, have a conversation. The audience, I know they definitely learned more about you today. And again, we're going to be praying, lifting you up, and know that you're part of this family, the Gift and the Gift family. So, yeah, man, we look forward to seeing how the Lord leads you to even greater things. And before we end this show, man, any last words of encouragement for those people who are listening to you right now?
Keep working hard every day. I'll try to pat yourself on the back sometimes, I feel like, too.
That's a good one.
If it's ever getting tough, just think back of things that you've had to struggle through or work hard to get through things, and just know that you can do whatever you set your mind to and whatever you put the work in to do it. If you put the work in, you can get it done. So, and then just pat yourself on the back. Just know that you should be proud of yourself. Others are proud of yourself. God's proud of you for going along this journey. So just do that. Keep your head up at all times. Pat yourself on the back sometimes, and just keep working through everything.
Boom. There it is. You patting yourself on the back. Man, mic drop, Christian. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for shining your light on the GNG podcast. Everything that you stated is definitely taken noted. And again, if you didn't get that pen and paper, go ahead and rewind this bad boy back, listen to it, be encouraged. Such amazing value. I'm going to lead us out, though, Christian. I told each and every one of you this is going to be an amazing episode. Please, I encourage you, share this message out to whoever you feel is going to be able to take some value from this episode. Share it out, comment, let us know what you think. I also want to encourage you to take one of the application points that was shared here. I'll go ahead and throw one out there for you. Pat yourself on the back, just like my man Christian said, and taking things one day at a time. There's actually two of them. So as you go beyond listening to this message, I want you to be encouraged taking that daily challenge of adding those application points to your life, but also reaching out to us. Let us know how you're doing along your journey of implementing some of these application points that we shared on this episode. But I want you to stay up with GNG. More episodes coming soon. As always, I want you to do two things for me, family. Keep that crown on your heart. And please remember this. We are God's echo. I love each and every one of you. Peace.
Thank you for listening to GNG Podcast. Remember, you are gifted differently to make a difference. Please visit ChazJacksonSpeaks.org and let's continue to grow together. God bless.